Hi everyone, I'm Victoria and this is the Bus Station, your digital marketing podcast.
Hello, Victoria.
Hi Julian.
So, welcome to episode 14 of the Bus Station.
Mm-hmm.
So, episode 14, that's becoming much. I'm Julien, of course, sorry.
You always forget to tell
Yeah, I always forget to say something. And as promised, so we talked about it in the last episode, the last news review. There's been a lot of new features on Facebook last summer, and we're going to talk about it in this episode. But we thought we would make a dedicated episode to speak about the actual situation of Facebook.
Because so to a recap kind of.
A recap
episode.
kind of, exactly. So that you can have all the information at one place. So yeah, and we'll give also our opinions and feelings about what Facebook is doing.
Like we always do. Okay, so let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
And as a starting point, I would like to read out loud a quote that I read in Mashable, and that I think it quite expresses the whole topic of today's
That's a good introduction.
Yes. So it says like this: Facebook wants to be the product for everyone. It has over 1 billion users, but to the social network, that means there are 6 billion more to go.
That was a nice quote. Yeah.
Thank you, Mashable.
Thank you, Mashable, for this nice quote. So yeah, it's a very good starting point because it recaps very well in the situation in which Facebook is right now. It's
yes.
very big. It's this massive social network where it is still the biggest. It's been the biggest since years.
Network.
And now it's trying to continue its growth, and to do that it's trying to release new features all the time. And let's be honest, the features it's been releasing in the last 2 or 3 years were not always very successful.
Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's true that for the last couple of years we have seen that Facebook has taken some missteps and has been involved in some scandals.
It's been a hard time for Facebook.
Yeah,
in the last
so
few years.
that it has affected the whole reputation, their whole image in a sort of negative way. So we've all heard about stories where Facebook had removed content, like in touchy situations where there was an image showing
too much flash, or
yes.
In context where it was not needed.
Social,
moderate.
So what they consider not socially acceptable.
Acceptable, exactly.
So there's been a lot of critics about this whole moderation. So you're in some way censored, let's say.
Yeah.
But besides that, there's been other topics like fake news. So with the Trump campaign, Clinton.
The Clinton versus Hillary elections. There has been a lot of scandals. You've all heard about it, and it's still
fake news.
It's still a thing right now.
Yeah.
Like last week, there was still a revelation that Facebook was actually hosting fake advertisement from Russia. So yeah, and now people are starting to consider
the whole.
Everything that they read on Facebook now is
unreliable in some way. No, so it's
not so
a
serious.
bit, yeah. And it's almost junk, I will say. You know, you won't refer to Facebook for real news.
Yeah.
Even if that was the goal initially.
There's also been this thing of echo chambers. I don't know if you heard about this topic, but it's about the algorithm of Facebook, sorry, which is showing you the things of the people who think the same as you, so that you always stay in this kind of bubble. Where you never get to experiment the real world, you know.
I was telling you, I open my Facebook feed and the only thing I see is like puppies, videos, or food. And it's okay for a while, but when at least that's a nice thing.
Yeah, I see game stuff on my Facebook.
That says a lot about news.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that to say that even though they've been making efforts on the algorithm, it might not be.
There are some bad consequences as well, and it's damaging their image in a way.
Yeah.
And about feature related things.
There's been like this whole failure with stories. So we saw at the beginning of the year
in April we did an episode.
We released an episode talking specifically and comparing the different stories in Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. And at that time, we actually said that we were surprised that not so many people were embracing this new feature.
Yeah. And at the same time, we had some thoughts that company pages would be able to use it, but it's like a half-baked feature actually now.
We had hopes for it, but actually,
it never
the whole skepticism that we had at the initial, it came true. So
and it takes a lot of space on the Facebook app and at the main place and stuff. So
it's the first thing you see, and actually, if it's a way to promote what they're doing, and then when you see that there's only 1 people out of 500 contacts that uses it, is it a good thing for Facebook to put it in such a high position?
And to keep it like this.
Yeah. So it's an open question, a big question.
It sounds like a misstep to me, but well.
Yeah, there's been others like live streaming. So yeah, it's been used more, but it's not been used in a correct way. Let's see, there's been a lot of issues with broadcasting suicides or videos where they are broadcasting crimes. So again, a good step in terms of initiative, innovation, but were the people not prepared?
It ended up in a mess, and
Again, one of these missteps, perhaps on Google. Question mark. Yeah.
And to me, actually, if I can speak about my own experience, I've deleted.
We're here for that, Julian. Feel comfortable.
I have not drunk since 2 weeks now.
It's the therapy.
No, I mean, I've deleted the Facebook app from my phone a few months ago already. And because to me it has become less relevant ever since they took off the Facebook Messenger feature of the app. Now I use only Messenger because that was the main. Actually, I realized that it was the main thing on Facebook for me.
Yeah. So for those that are not sure about it, you can actually have Messenger app in your phone without having the Facebook app, and you can still use it.
Exactly. And for me, I realized that Messenger was really the most most important feature of Facebook that I was using, and the rest was just a way to
entertain yourself,
to entertain myself while waiting for others to reply to me. Well,
while you're bored, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Watching puppies and food while you're hungry, right?
Exactly. So and but in all fairness, at the same time, we cannot deny that Facebook has been like really innovative in what they were doing. It's like every time there is a new update on Instagram, it's like, oh, they have added a nice set of stickers for stories or something like this. It sounds really minor.
A sure bet, but nothing risky.
Exactly. And Facebook is taking such big steps all the time, like investing so much money in virtual reality, 360 videos, content. Which has not been a thing yet, but they are there and they're ready for it. If
they're testing it.
If that's the thing in 3 years, they would be the first to have used it, and you know how the first mover.
It's very important.
The first mover action is the best thing on such a topic. They've been using Facebook Lives. We mentioned it before, which was such a great idea, which ended up in a mess, but. It's
so
not
the general either. So there are these 360 videos that are pretty cool, being using for like tourism and in the tourism industry.
I
mean, there's always the one that gives the buzz is the thing that we take as a mainstream, but there's always obviously examples of good use of live broadcasting.
Yeah, that's true. And live in 360 degrees now is also available, so it's really becoming big. For companies who are selling things online, now they can have shopping.
Displaying all their catalog on Facebook
on their page, so that's really great because it's kind of boosting the thing of selling on Facebook. They have been the primary users of chatbots. You cannot think of chatbots without thinking of Facebook Messenger.
And we actually did a dedicated episode about this.
Exactly, we actually tested about Facebook a lot on this episode. So trying a lot of things, being very innovative, and we cannot say that Facebook is failing because it's not trying,
No, but Fair enough. That's true. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. And talking about good steps, let's go now and dive into the summer updates.
Yeah, the
and
most
hear
recent novelties.
the features. So besides its redesign that we've seen, it's very light.
So I've not seen it because I deleted the app. But,
So it's basically we have a bubble for the messages in the comments. Just internal joke. Anyway, so besides this redesign, I think I'm the only one laughing.
Sorry.
There's been other features rolled out this summer, specifically in-app features. So the first one is a marketplace, and perhaps some of you had already seen it because it existed in other countries before. It was rolled out in the UK, for instance. I've seen it even with my sister. She lives in Scotland. I saw that she had it already, but it was rolled out in August in Switzerland. And it's, well, literally, it's a marketplace. Users, they
customers can sell whatever they want to other customers.
C2C. And it's done by location, so the user chooses their location and then you can filter by distance. So it's pretty straightforward, and
it's a surprising idea. I was not expecting to find this in Facebook.
But at the same time, you know, like there's so many groups of selling. I actually follow a lot, like selling in furniture in Neuchâtel, and then you see the whole list. Why not? When I saw it, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool.
I think I'm pretty sure for a lot of people it makes a lot of sense, and for you, for example.
Yeah, see? And the second feature, also in-app, is called Watch. So what is Watch? It's a video viewing hub, a sort of young YouTube, let's say, where users will be able to browse and see video content.
Yeah.
Which, surprise, surprise, guess what? Facebook has a lot of plans in exploiting this new feature.
In terms of advertising?
Yeah, sponsoring content.
Exactly.
Something that you might have noticed, and I'm going to explain to you, is that there's two things. There's one thing in common between the new features, is that they are built inside the Facebook app. So why is that? Why is this obsession of integrating new features into the application? Well, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. I think we have some clues.
Yeah, you have some guesses. You might have heard about social networks fighting a battle of trying to grab users' attention, or what they call engagement. Yes. Why? Because your attention is worth millions in terms of advertising.
Yeah.
So obviously it makes sense, and it's natural that Facebook wants us to spend more time in their application because they can target us with more advertising.
It's funny because we were speaking about this in the last episode about Snapchat, who is struggling to get new users and who has to make more money out of his existing users. It's exactly the same mechanic here. Facebook is struggling to get new users again, and so it has to make more value out of its current users.
Definitely.
So that's the strategy, that's where it's going
And
now.
it's the whole fighting they all have, all of the publishers.
Yeah, exactly. And
but anyway.
Yeah, so it's a good thing for advertisers.
Yeah, so we're not here to give moral lessons to Facebook because we are marketers, and
we are
it's
happy.
good news. Yeah, it's good news for us.
To hear that, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And also one thing that you could notice from the novelties from this summer is that they are using the location.
Yeah.
And that's something that now is really being used for advertising as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can have dedicated ads to show drive to store campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook is taking using the location of the person's phone on the which is
your GPS location.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. and so in the ads now you can show the closest shop to where they can buy this kind of product.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook is trying to make it more available, not available, but more easy for and more useful for local companies to use their advertising system.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not stopping there. It's for the best advertisers of Facebook. You can now also know the conversion in terms of location. So if someone goes to the store after seeing the ad, the drive to store ads, it will show a conversion. Like
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. So it's a dream come true for some
for marketers where
advertisers
we're struggling to know
to get
like
the best data.
Yeah, this hole between the digital and like retail.
Yeah,
right?
It's finally trying to make the link between the digital ads and the locations.
Because I had heard about Google AdWords offering this kind of service as well. We had discussed it about before.
Drive to store campaigns, yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I'm not sure if it's able to go that deep in showing conversions.
I think the good thing about Facebook is that this is one person, because on Facebook you have to be logged in. So when Facebook knows when it's one user. The problem with Google is that a person can be using their mobile phone, but they can be using their desktop and be targeted by ads, and they don't differentiate between the devices. So this is something in advantage for Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not ending here. The new things for advertisers are you have now placement reports. That doesn't sound like something for every one of you, but let me just explain why it's very important.
Yes.
In the Facebook ads, you can always choose different placements of where you want your ad to show. If it's on Facebook, if it's on the mobile app, if it's on Instagram, and you also have the audience network option. The audience network is kind of the display functionality of Facebook.
Google. Yeah.
Of Facebook?
So yeah, the version, the Google version.
The Google display, and now you have the Facebook audience network. Sorry, we're getting confused here. And so what I wanted to say is that until today, it's been kind of blurry. We never really know where the ads were displayed. So it's been a trend lately that marketers were saying, okay, don't use the network, the audience network to place your ads, because you don't know where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be on even a porn website. You don't know where it could damage your image. Exactly. So now that Facebook is offering this placement reports, it's going to be much safer. You can have more transparency. You can have blacklists. You can have whitelist. So everything, a bit like Google does it since a few years, but now Facebook is finally doing it again as well. And so it's going to be easier and more trustworthy for marketers.
And I think it's going to be as well necessary for all the plans that they have, like we mentioned, Watch. So if they're going to be putting video ads and within their inventory,
it's going to become
network,
more important as well on the platform. That's true. That's true. And I hope you like using Facebook ads, because apparently you're not going to stop right away using them. So that's about it for all the novelties we had to explain to you about Facebook in this summer. And so Facebook, just let's make a little recap. So Facebook is still the biggest. Facebook is struggling to get more users and to remain relevant. And it's implementing these new functionalities, and hopefully someone will be the next big thing, and we'll all be back to Facebook again and spend a lot of time there.
In the worst case scenario, it has Instagram under its umbrella, so he can say
it has a plan B.
Yes, which is always good.
Exactly. So that's it for today. Thank you all for listening, for watching. I'd like to invite you to put a little like if you like this video. You can give us a rating on the website if you liked our podcast.
We're gonna put all our social tags under.
Tell us if you have any feedback to give us. If you want to speak about Facebook, we'd be happy to hear about what are your impressions, because we're in our little bubble as well, So
yes, I mean, these are very open questions at the moment. We know that no company can ever be evergreen unless it takes risks and innovates. Facebook is doing it, but we never know. And the internet, it's making things change so fast.
Yeah.
So we'd like to know what are your inputs. What do you think? If you have any questions, we'll answer them. Gladly.
Okay, so thank you for listening and watching today, and
Mhm.
we'll see you in 2 weeks with a
Yes.
brand new topic.
Yes. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Et voilà.